Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Baba's Talk Show. I'm Hussein Baba. As you know, usually I invite community leaders to come and talk about their background, what they do in the community. But today, it's a different format. I have a professional. When I say professional, I got a dietitian with me. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Zainab. How are
Wa
you?
alaikum salam. How are you, Brother Hussein?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you. How's the family?
Alhamdulillah, everybody's well, getting
Good.
ready for Ramadan.
Of course, we all are getting ready for Ramadan. Uh, yes, that's one of the reasons why I got you here because of Ramadan too. Okay, now you're a dietitian.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what does a dietitian do?
So, as a dietitian, I provide advice on food and nutrition to
Right,
help you with your health and well-being.
right,
So, as an accredited practicing dietitian,
right,
you have to complete a university level degree.
right,
In that degree, you learn a lot about the body, you learn about lots of different conditions,
right,
and how food and nutrition affects you through those,
right,
and how you can use evidence based practice to
right,
help you improve your health for many different conditions.
right,
And those conditions include, say, heart disease, gastrointestinal disease, like
right,
celiac, GORD, could include renal diseases, all sorts of things, and including getting to a healthy weight.
right,
And so through that, I help to support and guide you by
right,
providing advice
right.
for you to be the best, healthiest version of yourself.
Good, good. So you answered part of my question already.
Sure.
Why do people need a dietitian? Why do they need to consult a dietitian?
Sure, absolutely. So, Brother Hussein,
Yeah.
there's lots of nutrition advice out there.
Right.
In a world that we live in, we have social media.
Right.
You can ask it any question,
Right.
and it'll give you lots of different advice.
Yes.
I think the advantage of coming to a dietitian
Right.
is that we are able to guide you through that knowledge and
Right.
information
Right.
because we've learned about what works and what
Right.
doesn't work.
Right.
We've learned about the evidence behind that.
Right.
And what we can do is simplify that information
Right.
and help you put it into your lifestyle and make it work.
Okay.
Now, here in Australia and in the Gold Coast, we
Yeah.
are so lucky. We've got lots and lots of different multicultural communities,
Right.
which means that we eat differently. We don't have that typical Western diet.
Right.
We have lots of different types of cultures and foods that
Yes.
we include in our diet.
That's true.
So, at the end of the day, my role would be to make sure that you're able to still eat the foods that you're familiar with,
Right.
but in a sort of a healthier way to meet your goals
Right.
and to help you sort of navigate your health conditions or whatever
Right.
your health goals may be.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, I put it simply, one plan doesn't fit all.
Absolutely
So it's
not.
a be unique.
Yes.
So it's individualized, right?
Yes.
Individualized, because as you mentioned, we have people from different cultural background.
Yes.
We have people even from China.
Yes.
They have southern Chinese food, northern Chinese food, even India, southern Chinese, and the north. I tend to think the southern food are more healthier than the northern Indian food because they use a lot of geese and
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's very important that individualize.
Yes.
And oh, that's interesting. So when you so how do you operate your services? Do you belong to one clinic or do you?
So at the moment, I'm starting out, and
Yeah.
so I will be operating out of Olsen Avenue Medical Center.
Okay.
And so the way you can come and see me is if you visit your GP,
Right.
if you have a chronic condition.
Right.
So those chronic conditions I was talking to you earlier
Yeah.
about, those can include cardiovascular disease, hypertension.
Right.
Now, if you chat to your GP, they're able to put you on something called a chronic disease management plan.
Okay.
And within that plan, you can get 5 episodes of care with
Okay.
any allied health professional, which includes a dietitian, right? So once you have that plan in place,
Right.
you put the referral through to say, come and see me at
Right.
Olsen Avenue Medical Center.
Right.
And that appointment will be bulk billed
Right.
to Medicare. So it's going to be of no charge. And just to give you a bit of an idea of what would happen at this appointment, you
Right.
would come and see me.
Right.
We'd have a bit of a chat about your diet, your
Right.
exercise, your lifestyle.
Right.
So I get a really great understanding of and your medical conditions,
Right.
your medications, your blood tests. We take
Right.
all of that into account
Right.
and then make that individualized plan. We work with you to make goals,
Right.
and then you can even make a healthy eating plan.
Right.
And then the next time you come, we look at how are you going with that? Is that
Okay.
working?
Okay.
What changes can we make? That that sort of thing.
Okay. So that means anyone who approached their doctor
Yes.
get a referral letter.
Yes.
You need a referral letter to come to dietitian, right?
Yes.
So, and then they have a plan. Like what? How many times can they visit? You said 5 or
So the important part of this is
Yes.
you have to be diagnosed with a chronic condition.
Okay.
So the chronic condition could be hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, renal condition. If you have those sorts of conditions and you're already visiting your GP,
Right.
your GP can offer you 5 appointments in a year, and that could be all with a dietitian or with other health professionals. But the main thing is you asking that GP to say, I'd like to go and see the dietitian, and I would like perhaps 3 or 4 or 5 appointments, which will be you can use through the year.
Right.
That'll be bulk billed.
Bulk bill. So other than bulk bill, do you do private?
Yes, absolutely. And so, you can give me a ring and we can discuss your health needs and we can figure out what would work for you in terms of perhaps a plan or a package. So perhaps 3 appointments or 5 appointments. And we can, give you a bit of a plan in terms of how much that would cost. Part of that, if you've got a health fund and you have extras cover, dietetics is covered through that as well. So you could potentially claim through your private health fund for part of that as well.
If you don't mind, I'm asking, like, what's the average price would be, cost?
So I think it's individualized.
Okay.
Give me a call and we can work it out.
All right.
I think it's individual for everyone, whether you want 1 appointment or 3 or 5. I think it'll be great to have a chat and sort of work it out depending on your circumstance and what you're wanting to, I suppose, achieve.
So in the when our private clients come to you, do they still need a referral letter?
Not really. So you don't need a referral. You can just come and self-call up or, just say, I'd like an appointment. So you don't need a referral letter at all. All you need is to come and see me. And if you've got a health fund, let me know what health fund, and I can make up a receipt with a provider number. And that's the main thing for you to be able to claim.
Okay. All right. As you know, sister, at the beginning of our show, we mentioned about Ramadan. So in this Ramadan, there's IFTAR. Of course, apart from TARAWIH prayers, people think of pakoras and sambosa. Especially people from the subcontinent background.
Absolutely.
I mean, personally, I love samosa to breakfast. You see. So now, what would be your advice, a general advice, not for the people who are fasting?
Yes.
I'm talking about not only iftar, even sahur.
Yes.
What should they be mindful?
Yeah.
If you can give us some idea, what should be more intake, what should be less intake? If you can just briefly explain.
Sure. So look, Brother Hussein, it's such an incredible month that's coming up. It's so spiritual, and you achieve so much from it by nourishing your soul through that spiritual connection.
Right.
But it's also an important time to nourish your body and eat well and think about how you can eat.
Right.
I think we have lots of different bits of advice that are given to us, and sometimes it's hard to enact. Like you said, we really enjoy our samosas. If I gave my husband an air-fried samosa, he would reject it. So
he was some oil fried.
That's right. And at the end of the day, we eat for satisfaction, but it also invokes really good feelings in us and makes us feel good.
Right.
So I think the main thing with Ramadan is thinking about, well, how do you eat in moderation? And really thinking about taking in those prophetic teachings of eating in moderation, those sorts of things. So I've actually made up a resource, which I will send through to you. I've got it on this iPad, which I can quickly show you.
Okay, that's good.
So this is a little bit of a view on the resource.
4 tips for healthy Ramadan. All right.
So it just gives us a little bit of a quick guide, and I'll send this resource.
Yes, please
and
do that.
Other associated resources.
Good. So we can share with our audience for the better understanding. But definitely,
firstly, I'll say one of the most important things is staying hydrated.
Hydrated, that's true.
So drinking lots of water, at least 8 cups of water.
Okay.
Right? Now that can be a little bit hard, but if you split it up, say 2 to 3 glasses at SUHOOR, 2 glasses at IFTAR, 2 glasses at dinner, 2 glasses post TARAWIH, you'll make it up.
Right.
Do it slowly, take it in.
Yeah.
And, that's so important because at the end of the day, if you're dehydrated, you're going to feel weak.
Yeah.
You're going to feel tired. You're going to get headaches.
Yes.
And you might even get a little bit constipated, which is
Oh,
uncomfortable
yeah,
and
of
makes
course.
you feel really unhappy.
That's right.
The second thing is, again, talking about nourishment of our soul.
Yeah.
This is nourishment of our body.
Right.
Mindful eating.
Right.
So if we practice mindful eating,
Right.
so by this I mean eating slowly.
Yeah.
Take small bites.
Yeah.
Savor our food.
Right.
Taste it.
Right.
Really think about what we've got, because at the end of the day, Ramadan is all about gratitude.
Yeah.
And inshallah, Allah has given us so much and we're so thankful for what we have.
Right.
I think taking that into our food is the next step.
Well, that's a jihad.
Yeah. and to be honest,
He says, sorry for non-Muslim, jihad means struggle.
It is a struggle.
Because after fasting for the whole day, first thing is, of course, we make some dua, we jump into food. Just like she explained, think about it. Most of the time, you have no time to think about it. But we should think about changing, just change our lifestyle. Yes.
And I think one of the other important things I can talk about is eating until you're satisfied and then stop. Don't eat until you're completely full.
Yeah.
If you eat until you're very full, you'll start having those symptoms,
right,
like lots of burping,
right,
food coming up,
right,
heartburn. Those
right,
are really uncomfortable.
Right.
And a lot of people experience them through Ramadan. And
right,
again, going back to the fried foods,
yes,
don't cut them out completely. Have one.
Right.
Think about it this way.
One?
Well, think about it this way. If you're having 3 samosas a day, that's 21 in a week, and that's 90 in the month.
Yeah.
So the impact on your weight, on your body, that's a lot. But if you're having one, at least you're still indulging,
right,
and you're getting the taste, but in moderation.
Moderation. That's right. It's a struggle, but we have to try. If you're concerned about your health, it's very important. Plus, the spiritual journey that we take during the month of Ramadan, it's not all about eating. This is the time you need to do a bit of a sacrifice, and then you should try to eat less.
Well, just eat till you're satisfied.
Satisfied, yes.
Not less. Eat until you feel good,
yes,
but not full. Like, oh my gosh, I need to eat more because I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
The next thing I would say is balancing your plate, and this is all part of the resources that I'm sending through.
Yeah.
It's about thinking of what you put on your plate. Half of the plate should be filled with lots of colorful vegetables.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
A quarter of your plate, complex carbohydrates. So that's your whole grain bread, your pasta.
Right.
And a quarter of the plate should be your protein, meat, chicken, all of it lean.
Right.
And that will look very different for everyone.
Okay.
It might mean a vegetable curry, a yogurt raita, a piece of roti, and some chicken. Or it might mean noodles with vegetable and chicken. So for everyone, that looks different. But just trying to think of those portion sizes and how much of each element of food you want.
Okay.
And lastly, splitting up your meals. So try not to eat everything at once. Obviously, suhoor is one of those times that you want to include a good amount of complex carbohydrate, protein, and healthy fats. So an example of that would be overnight oats. So you can mix a bit of chia, high protein yogurt, oats. So oats are complex carbohydrate. They break down slowly. They're low GI, so they keep you sustained, and they've got lots of fiber. So they help you with that constipation. And then you can add a bit of fruit to that and a bit of honey. So that's a complete meal, easily done the night before, and gives you sustained energy. Breaking your fast, perhaps a couple of dates, some fruit, some veg. Right. Pray your Maghrib Salah, have your dinner. Think of that balanced plate, TARAWIH, and then snacks.
It's true.
So break it up.
Inshallah, we hope people can follow this suggestion.
Yes.
Of course, it's for your own benefit. You see, when I talk about SUHOOR, right? When we were growing up, because I'm of Sri Lankan background, we have a feast. It's a feast. Rice and 5 curries. If there's no 5 curries, not complete. So next morning you're struggling, all right? But after I moved to Australia, I'm just talking about my personal experience. A couple of my friends told me, they said, look, I said, what do you have for SUHOOR? Oh, we just have a glass of milk with Vitamix or some cornflakes. I said, what? So little? I mean, we have a feast. Then gradually understood. So for the last some years, I've changed it. So now SUHOOR, I usually have cornflakes or wheat bix with milk. Sometimes I might add some bananas into it. So you feel much better. It's not heavy. and also feel cool inside, you know. So that's only a suggestion that I prefer. And if you guys have a better idea, good for you. I mean, the whole idea is like the dietitian mentioned, not eat less, but eat a balanced diet.
Yeah,
Balanced diet,
absolutely.
balanced diet. And of course, how about exercise?
You know, that's so important.
Right.
And, you know, exercise can mean different things for everyone. It doesn't mean I have to hit the gym and lift weights.
Right.
It can mean I do a 30-minute walk.
Right.
It can mean that I do Pilates. Whatever you do.
Right.
For women at home, it might be housework.
Right.
You know, let's not make exercise hard. Let's make it be part of our lives.
Right.
Just even like I said, a 30-minute walk. And if you're struggling in the beginning, start with 15 or 20 minutes and work it up.
Right.
Because that's, again, important part of what we do.
Sure.
You know, our tarawih is a sort of an exercise as
course.
well. So, you know, including yourself and coming to the mosque and praying your tarawih and, you know, having that spiritual connection, but also having that exercise. It's so, you know, the wisdom behind what we do in our religion, after having iftar, after having our meal, and then praying, you know, that's a really great source of exercise. So,
No, that I really agree with you. But sadly, some of our brothers go back and eat more after Tarawih. No, it's been a practice. That's how I grew up, and I see people. You see, they have a main meal for iftar. Then they go for Tarawih. After they come back, they will have some sherbet, some drinks, and snacks again, and they'll talk all the way to till suhoor time, and then. So of course now another point, sleeping also very important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. At the end of the day, if we want to have that energy, if we want to be able to really concentrate on our salah, and then but also concentrate on our day, because at the end of the day, while we're fasting, all of us are going to work, school, all the rest of it. If you're not getting enough sleep, enough exercise, and enough food, those are the three things, you're not going to feel well. So you know, we are very lucky in Australia here. Our time for Salah is pretty early. So even if you do want to eat a little bit after Isha or Tarawih, don't make it a huge meal. Make it small and make it a little bit before you go to sleep. Because if you eat too close to bedtime, again, you're going to have food coming up.
True.
Yeah.
True. That's true. So remember, balanced diet, have a good amount of sleep, and also exercise. Exercise was important. Like you said, it doesn't have to be vigorous exercise. It could be a 30-minute walk, a bit faster walk, not too slow. Okay, so yeah, if you can, you know, and again, as we mentioned beginning of the show, that one plan doesn't fit for all, so this will be individualized. And of course, if anybody interested, can contact Sister Zehnab, and then she can make a custom-made plan based on your requirement, because it's different for different individuals, right? So I think you've covered most of the information that we required for today. And of course, inshallah, let's all have a beautiful Ramadan. Inshallah. And of course, control our diet as well, because this is the whole idea. And of course, you can see what's happening in Palestine. It's very sad. In fact, I have to cancel some of the iftar that I used to organize previous years, because in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. So we make dua that things will improve.
Ameen.
So Sister Zehnab, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. And I'm sure our viewers have learned quite a bit, and they know where to contact you. I'll put your details below the video, and then see how it goes. All right?
Jazakallah. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And I look forward to seeing some of you coming to visit me, inshallah.
Sure, inshallah. Do you operate during Ramadan?
I will be, yes.
Okay,
it'll be
good.
in the day, so it'll be all right,
inshallah. Okay. Thank you for watching. And before you go, sister, we have a small appreciation for stopping by. So here we have an appreciation award presented to Sister Zehnab Vayani, and for appearing in Baba's talk show.
Jazakallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.